Hi, good evening everybody. My name's Hilary Salt. I am the candidate for Wythenshawe and Sale East in Manchester. And William asked me to say a few words about why I'm standing as an SDP candidate. And to explain that, I kind of wanted to start with a quote. And that quote is, "Beware the fury of a patient man." Because the reason I decided to stand, because I was so furious when Rishi Sunak brought back David Cameron, put him in the House of Lords and made him Foreign Secretary. And that made me say, that's it, I'm standing. Now, I think for most of my adult life, if I'd stood for a political party, I'd have probably ended up being a candidate for the Labour Party. So it's quite surprising to me that I'm here standing for the SDP. So why the SDP? And my answer to that is because the SDP knows. The SDP knows what a woman is. The SDP knows what the state is for. And the SDP knows what a home is. So let me say a few words about each of those issues. So knowing what a woman is feels like a fairly low hurdle, but it is a hurdle that many of our competitors seem unable to get over. We know that a woman is an adult human female, and we know that 100% of women do not have a penis. And that's not just theoretically important. That's important because it's only when you understand that you understand that defending women's sex-based rights in areas like hospital wards, refuges, changing rooms, and indeed in women's sports and in data collection depends on understanding that basic biology and standing by that basic biology. And one of the great things I find about the SDP is that my male colleagues in the SDP don't just leave it to women to defend women's rights. They stand shoulder to shoulder with us, defending our rights and the rights of their daughters, wives, mothers and sisters. Thank you, comrades. Secondly, we know what the state is for. And William's mentioned quite a few of the things I was going to mention, so I won't say them again. But just to pick out perhaps a few things that I think we've got used to over the past couple of decades, governments doing lots of things that we don't want them to do. Policing our speech in the home, enforcing compliance in diversity and equity and equality areas through things like the public sector equality duty and the corporate governance code. We've got used to them outsourcing decisions to supranational bodies and propping up zombie companies. Those are all things we don't need the state to be doing. And at the same time, we've got used to the state being unable to do all the things we do need it to do, like have a clear industrial strategy, like making sure we have the right infrastructure, like defending our borders. And the SDP understands the need for the state to do all those things, and will reorganise the state around ensuring that we have prosperity which generates high wages, a high tax base, and allows us to do all those things that citizens of a country need us to do. Finally, the SDP knows what a home is, and I'm really pleased to see the manifesto titled Homecoming. It's a great, I think, really visceral name for it that really, I think, allows people to buy into it. I found in my campaign so far that talking to people on the doorstep, the thing that really comes up time and time again is housing. And William's explained that we have some striking policies that really differentiate us, that say that we really are keen to stand by a promise to make sure that everybody has a decent and an affordable home. Now, William talked about, the fact that we'll do that by making sure that the state builds houses and also by introducing a land value tax. Now, that's not just a tax grab. That's about making sure that when a developer sells land for a big profit and we take a slice of that profit, that goes to a local authority And that allows that local authority to not just support development, but to be real people who make places for people to live. So to build schools, to build hospitals. And the great thing about that is that that coheres the whole community behind that development, because there's something in it for everybody. So, you know, those things we get where people oppose development, you can bring the whole community behind you. That's why it's important. But a home is a lot more than bricks and mortar, and we understand that as well. We need not just houses, but a real community that we can cohere behind British values. We need a national care service to make sure that our elderly population know that they can live in dignity in their later life. And most of all, what we know is that this is the way that most people think. And that's why we're out on the streets, many of us running our campaigns, talking to ordinary people, saying to them, you know, these are all the things that we believe in, and providing people with a real alternative. And I do hope we can be successful in making sure that we get that message across. Thank you.